everyone, and welcome to our next installment of Data Science Conversations. I'm Michaela Parker. I'm here to welcome you where we'll be listening today to Bowie State University and Winston Salem State University. But before we get started, I just have a few things to go over. First, for those of you new to the Academic Data Science Alliance, or ADSA, we are a community of data science researchers and educators who take responsibility for a just, equitable future where data science approaches are thoughtfully applied in all domains for the benefit of all. On the bottom of this slide is a QR code. If you snap that, it'll take you to our website where you can learn more about our activities and events like this one, our mission, vision, values, and how to become a member yourself. So with that, I will now introduce our moderator. Dr. LaTanya Brown-Robertson is a professor of economics and currently serves as the special assistant for research and development in the College of Business at Bowie State University. Her research interests include data science and analytics, urban economics, housing economics, and stratification economics. And even though she's from Bowie State, I'm told she's not going to play favorites today as the moderator and that she loves all of her HBCUs equally. So with that, I'll stop sharing, and LaTanya, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Michaela. Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your Friday afternoon to share with us and to learn more about our wonderful HBCUs. Our first speaker today is Dr. Azene Zenebe from Bowie State University. He's a full professor and chair of the Information Systems Department in the College of Business at Bowie State. He has been at Bowie State since 2005. And Dr. Zenebe is an experienced practitioner and educator of information systems with over 20 years of experience that includes extensive work in systems analysis, design, and development using both structured and object-oriented methods and data analytics. He teaches various undergraduate and graduate courses in information systems, including database systems, decision support systems, and analytics. His research focus is on business intelligence, data analytics, decision support, data mining, and machine learning. Dr. Zenebe has presented and published more than 15 articles and refereed professional conferences and scientific journals. He is also engaged in research in big data analytics, cybersecurity, healthcare, education, and economics, Dr. Zenebe is a co-PI with me on a NSF HBCU targeted infusion project to infuse data analytics across various disciplines at Bowie State University. He has led with me the development and the approval of the bachelor's in business administration for data analytics concentrations and the upper division certificate program at Bowie State University. So welcome, Dr. Zenebe. The floor is yours and you can begin.
Thank you for that generous introduction. And thank you for this opportunity. I'm going to share my screen and start. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
All right. So again, I know that today's emphasis is to share experience, both the positive and negative experience we had while we are trying to infuse data science, data analytics in our institution, which is Bowie State. Let's see. All right, first I want to acknowledge all this institution and individual listed on this slide, because it takes a lot of efforts to achieve what we achieved. So in the interest of time, I'm not gonna list them, but they are acknowledged. Now, always I use this slide to set the context when we talk about data science and data analytics. They are highly interrelated area, domain, or sub-discipline or discipline. So I just want to make sure, I always put the context when we discuss. Now at Bowie, quick fact about Bowie. Bowie is the first HBCU in Maryland, founded in 1865. There are about 20 undergraduate and 20 graduate programs. We have 3 colleges, about 4,000 to 5,000 undergraduates, about 1,000 graduate students on average. So, and also Bowie is mainly a research 3 institution, which means mainly focusing on teaching. We are we are heading towards be research 2. So again, that's another context. Now, in terms of quick summary, what happens, actually, we started this idea in 2017, and then we applied for grant. First, we didn't succeed. We revised and applied again. In 2018, we succeeded and we received a grant, but the real work started since 2017. Then you can see after 3 years, we managed to get the data analytics concentration academic program within the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. Also, a semester after, or a year after, a year after, we managed to get the upper division certificate in data analytics in fall 2021. This semester, we start offering classes. So we are excited. The students are excited. So I'll share more how we did it and what challenge we faced. Also, we have expanded our outreach by working with the Greater Washington partners to add the digital credentials and also provide student scholarship. Now, again, the importance of data, big data, data science, data analytics are, I think it's well established. Initially, we need to explain that, but I think now it's well established. A couple of interesting numbers I want to share with all of you. If you look at the last bulletin carried in terms of growth, you can see data analytics oriented jobs. They are increasing above, let's say, operation research analyst by 45 compared to statistician by 15K. So you can also see 7K for economists compared to 208K for management analysts. So we can see that now data analytics is becoming essential in all professional disciplines, and professionals are expected to do data analysis, data analytics, data cleaning, data collection. They're not expected to rely on a statistician or economist. So again, that's the trend. So accordingly, we need to adjust our academic programs. So again, this is another evidence. On this, I just want to focus on the type of jobs available, 2 categories, data analytics enabled jobs and data science jobs. So if you recall the Venn diagram I showed earlier at the beginning, so those who study data science end up doing the data science jobs. Those who study analytics, they end up doing the analytics enabled job. So again, generally the analytics enabled jobs, there are more analytics enabled jobs than data science jobs. So again, this justifies the need to infuse data science and analytics knowledge, skill, ability across disciplines. So again, when we start, how can we achieve this? So we have done a lot of research. We established a team of consists of with different expertise from different areas, from computer science, computer technology, information technology, economics, finance, biology. So in the process, we develop a framework to guide us the process. I will share that. And also, we use this framework, and we also try to study the effectiveness of this framework from a research perspective. So again, this is a framework we developed. You can see that data science, data analytics is a multidisciplinary discipline, and it involves a lot of competencies. So we try to understand that even before we start developing the academic programs. So you can see at the bottom, the foundation competencies are clearly there, the hard skills as well as the soft skills. And you can see also the foundation areas. On top of that, we have computer science and technology, knowledge, skill, abilities, or competencies. Then as you move, it's get closer to application. So a complete data science and analytics student or faculty needs to have all those knowledge. So, that's why we build the teams of faculty from biology, economics. We reach out to all, and we get enough representation. Now on the left, you can see that also we want to get feedback from advisory board. We established the advisory board from students, from faculties. And also we had a faculty learning community. We built a faculty learning community to facilitate this process. So another important element in developing academic program is, of course, the content, the competencies are important, but also the pedagogy. The pedagogy is critical. How are you going to deliver this content? So we focused better on literature research. We focus on problem-based learning, involving student, generally experiential learning based.
Dr. Zenebe, just so you know, you have about 1 more minute.
Okay, so again, we strongly believe that faculty is important, so we provide mechanism for faculty to build their DSA competencies. So we allow them to take courses, and we paid them a reasonable amount from the grant to encourage them. Also, they involved in the learning community. They involved on the research with the students. Again, they were motivated by their profession, plus with some payment, reasonable payment. So again, as I said, we developed modules initially infused into the curriculum. We developed a number of courses. Finally, we developed 2 programs, and we managed to get those programs approved. It has to go to, as all of you know, it has to go through a lot of committees, a lot of politics. So we managed to get those approved. Now our future plan is dissemination. So when first we're gonna share our experience. Second, we want to also share our modules, courses, cases we have developed, and also want to publish. We have a lot of data collected. We had an external evaluator. We have collected a lot of data. We didn't get enough time to analyze and publish, so we are working on that one. And also, bigger ambition we have is to prepare and publish a book. Thank you, and I look forward to answering your question at the end.
We have time for one clarification question. So someone in the chat, Michaela, said, paid professional development is so important. That's great to hear. Did the faculty also get a teaching release while they were seeking additional training?
In this case, we didn't give them teaching release for participating in this program. The two things that work with the stipend, a reasonable stipend is important. Also, I think the faculty learning environment is key, where we meet and we share idea. That's both in combination work very well.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Zenebe. And we'll ask you more questions a little bit later. But now what we're going to do is we're going to welcome the Winston Salem State University team, Dr. Jill Keefe and Dr. Debzani, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Dr. Debzani. Did I say that right? Okay. All right, so I will first read Dr. Jill Keefe's bio. Dr. Jill Keefe is a professor of biochemistry and an interim director of the Biomedical Research Infrastructure Center at Winston-Salem State University. She is an adjunct professor at Wake Forest University Health Sciences and Physiology and Pharmacology. She received her bachelor's degree from York College, Cooney, and a PhD from the University of Maryland College Park. As a bioorganic chemist with training in pharmacology, she conducts research related to central nervous system diseases and disorders. She is currently funded to develop a molecular probes therapeutics, increases the number of disadvantaged aging researchers, and enhance entrepreneurship using lean launchpad methodology. Dr. Keefe served as chair of the Department of Biological Sciences at Winston-Salem State University and currently teaches in the Department of Chemistry. Importantly, she uses diverse teaching methods and encourages students to use metacognitive strategies and Bloom's taxonomy to become self-regulated learners. Welcome, Dr. Keefe. Next, we have Dr. Debzani, and she is an associate professor of computer science at Winston-Salem State University. She is also the founding director for the Center for Applied Data Science at Winston-Salem State University. Her research interests are in the areas of big data analytics, machine learning, cloud computing, computer science education. She is the recipient of the 2021 Atkins Distinguished Research Award at Winston-Salem State University. She authored and co-authored over 40 referee journals and processing articles and has been awarded the 3M of federal and state research funding as PI and co-PI. She has over 15 years of experience in higher education as a faculty member in three different countries, such as the USA, Australia, and Bangladesh. Dr. Deb, I said Debzani before, I stand corrected. Dr. Deb leads the Big Clouds research team at Winston-Salem State University. She is also significantly involved as a co-PI or senior personnel in other research projects such as data science and urban studies and sustainability, data science and management research laboratory at NSFIEE curriculum initiative and the MRS mobile response system. Dr. Deb is a regular reviewer for journals, and she has served as the program chair for the EDU HPC workshops at ACM and IEEE. Welcome, Dr. Deb and Dr. Keefe. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this kind introduction. I'm going to share my screen, and if you can verify whether you can see it correctly.
Yes, we can see your slides. Yes, they're in a presentation mode. We can see your slides. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. So again, thank you so much. We are really excited to be invited and to have this privilege to present to the Academic Data Science Alliance. Our center is a very new center, only 18 months old center, and we are a pandemic center. So it's been really a privilege to be connected with all those established center over here. So we are here to connect, to learn, and to grow. So as Dr. Brown already mentioned, myself and one of our distinguished research fellow, Dr. Keith, is over here. And we are going to start first with a general overview of our center. So our center is funded by UNC Research Opportunities Initiative. So UNC ROI Award, and we got that award in July of 2020. So we started our center in July of 2020. So again, just acknowledging this generous funding. Without this funding, this center wouldn't be possible. So data science is one of the 6 priority area by UNC system, and then that's why we applied and we got the grant. And our goals are, we have very specific 3 goals. So number 1 goal is to create a robust ecosystem. So we are just trying to aggregate a lot of stakeholders from different sectors from our community and university, and create an ecosystem which is going to be sustainable. So once the grant is over, we are thinking about a model where we can self-sustain and feed each other and help each other to grow the institutional capacity at our university. Our second goal is to make some transformative changes to the interdisciplinary research, education, and community outreach in the area of data science. That's a very obvious goal. The third goal is to study the issues related to the diversity and inclusion in the area of data science. So we are very privileged again to be a HBCU and located in a very strategic area. Okay, so we are in a setting, our university setting is an urban setting, but we do have a lot of work needs to be done in our community. So that's why we are again in a very advantaged position to study the diversity and inclusion issues in the areas of data science. And we are, one of our goal is to study it really well and establish a model approach and set of recommendations to address these issues for the others. So just very briefly, what our activities are. So we proposed, K-12 outreach, started with the K-12 outreach. So our, ultimate goal is to build a pipeline. So we are going to, reach out to our communities, K-12 students, to encourage them to come to our university. Once they are there, we are going to enrich them with data science education. And I'm going to talk about our efforts so far, how we are doing that. And then of course, we are going to involve them to the data science research as well, give them that extra bit of training or exposure or experience to work with industries and in some research setting as well. Then we are going to we also have training, seminar, professional development activities to enhance the students, their research skill, their educational skill for the faculties as well. And for the community, we do have another sector of activities, which is called innovation and incubation. So I'll talk about them maybe during the question answer session, because I cannot, within this 5 minutes time period, it's not possible to talk about every one of them in detail. But just again, as an overview, center is currently supporting about 30 faculty, students, and staff. So we do have 2 groups of faculty. One group is dedicated for the research, another group is dedicated for the education. We do have research associate, research assistant, both graduate and undergraduate, and then of course evaluator staff, just like the other centers as well. And our advisory board is also very enriched with members from academia, industry, government, and nonprofit. So if you want to check our website, this is our website link, the first one, and the second one is our LinkedIn link. So as part of the educational approach, what we are doing. So as I mentioned, we are only 18 months old center. So last semester, we actually managed to approve a interdisciplinary data science minor So this is interdisciplinary, meaning is that anybody from any WCC department can take that minor, and we try to make it as accessible as much possible. So it is an 18 credit minor, and then 2 courses in data science, which we developed as part of the computer science department, and 1 course in statistics, and 3 courses in respective domains. So if a student is coming from, let's say, biology, then he or she can choose 3 relevant courses in biology that has some research or data analytics approach associated with that. And the program is supported, or this is not just, centers thing, but the program is actually a collaboration among 6 departments at WCC, including the computer science department as well. We also have a graduate certificate program in data analytics. This is not actually center's thing. It was actually there before the center established, but center is supporting that graduate certificate program. So anybody who already graduated and couldn't take the opportunity of doing the minor program can take this graduate certificate program, which is 2-semester long program. And we are serving a lot of different varieties of students there. Another unique thing that we have is we call it as a faculty adopter program. So these are our group of faculties who are actually trying to enhance the education sector at our university. So each of those faculty, again, just like Bowie State University, was given a stipend. They went through some training. And the whole purpose of this program is to make some awareness among the students about the data science. So, just with the idea is that each of those faculty is going to develop a 1-2 weeks long course module. So whatever course they are teaching, they just have to find a way. Of course, there is a competition. They have to give out the proposal and all those things, but they have to find a way to integrate a course module on data science, to integrate that in their already existing courses. And then that module, of course, we cannot ask for a lot of their course time. So the length or duration is like 1 or 2 weeks for teaching. And, the faculty has to actually assess the student performance and student interest before or after taking the data science module very rigorously. So we have a complete framework developed to run that adoption. And so far we have 10 faculty, not only from sciences department, arts department, social science, health science, all, throughout our university. Many departments already participated, and, in future, there will be other departments who will be participating as well. And altogether, of course, 10 modules has been developed, and in total, 150 WCC students received the exposure so far, based on actually 2 semesters. So we started this program in spring of 2021 and fall of 2021. And this semester, we are running our 3rd cohort of this faculty adopter program. And there is a separate group of faculty who we call faculty fellows. They are dedicated their time towards their individual research projects. So we do have ongoing research projects in the areas of pharmacoengineering, mobile crowdsourcing, spatial justice, social mobility, healthcare management, and music's biophysical influence on the human body. So as you can see, they are all exciting research ideas, and I just listed the name of all of our research fellows over here. They are all, esteemed faculty at our university. Beside those faculties, there are other ongoing research collaborations are also going on. Some noticeable ones are with some industry like Novant Healthcare. Haynes brand becomes a recent partner of our center. Community care clinic at Forsyth County, where our university is located, and some universities as well, just like Wake Forest University and North Carolina Agriculture and Technological University. So now I would like to invite Dr. Keith to talk about her research, which is a very exciting research in the field of pharmacoengineering.
Yes. What we do, Dr. Deb is so right, we have to work with one another. And I have been working in drug development for a couple of years, and I have a lot of collaborators. So when this strategy came along, I said, oh, let me see what I can do to help with what I was already doing. And as part of our research center, we're charged to work with other research centers as well. So we don't mind working together. And so the strategy, just specifically in my group, is looking at what available data is out there so that we can repurpose the FDA approved drugs. And we look at the NCBI site, which is the biotech site that the federal government has. And we look at how they treated the mice over a certain period of time. So 1 hour period, 2 hour period, 4 hour period, and 8 hour period. And we wanted to see how the brain changes, because we know that drugs change the brain and the brain doesn't revert. And how you treat someone who's addicted to cocaine or methamphetamine depends upon, okay, I see 1 minute. It depends upon how long they've been taking drugs. So we wanted to see what genes were upregulated, what's downregulated, and find the therapeutic that was best for that state that the brain is in. We're also looking at cardioprotective therapeutics, because most people who are, well, everybody who is addicted to cocaine also has heart problems. And whatever we found some evidence that there's some cardioprotective drugs out there. So we have 2 different projects that we're looking at right now. And we support this with some molecular modeling experiments with Wake Forest School of Medicine as well. And I'll stop there so that I can keep within the time frame.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Deb and Dr. Keith. We actually have a question from the audience. So I'll read the question. It says, Dr. Deb, are the faculty developing the modules under the adopter program? As well as the other part is, do they have support from the center to do that development and or incorporation in their classes? Are there other groups on campus supporting these modules?
So yes, the center actually support the development and the deployment, both of the the modules as well. So I don't know whether I should go into the deep. Like, for example, let me just give an example. Like, one of the arts professor came to us and saying that he wants to give his students some data science exposure, but what he wants them to understand is identify some fraudulent arts. So one of his methodology is that he wanna distinguish the right stroke from the left stroke. So to identify whether the art is actually a fraud one or the original one. So original authentic, artists always will have the same kind of stroke, but if somebody is trying to mimicking, they may have a different strokes for the same things as well. So he wouldn't know much beside the idea. So when he come to us, he has a bunch of data of the XY coordinates of his art, what he wants his students to analyze, right? So then we collaborate and we come up with some idea to identify how we can actually find the slope based on all those data. And then, we developed a module where he can take his students to the lab, tell them, hey, this is how the arts coordinates are, XY coordinates are, this is how we can find the slope. And based on the slope, you can actually identify whether it is a left stroke or right stroke. And then he gave an assignment or a project where his students actually went through the whole process. So as you can see that he has the idea, but he wouldn't know how to implement that. So here the center comes and we collaborate and we make that happen. So we always, all of our faculty adopters are something like that. They have some exciting ideas, but then we are training them or teaching them, how to create a module, like a hands-on module based on an idea so that student can be benefited. I'm sorry, I missed the second part of your question. Can you please repeat that?
Okay, so do they have support from the center to develop and or the incorporation in their classes, and are the groups on campus supporting these modules? So that was my question too. I was wondering, I was like, what type of support is within the center to make it easier for the faculty members to build out these modules?
Yeah. So we help them develop whenever they are doing it in the class. Sometimes we send our student assistant to help their students to do that hands-on part. We also develop the surveys for the students. And then we also sometimes help them with the performance criteria as well. So throughout this process, it's a kind of like very, very guided process throughout the semester. And
that's postdoc. Have a postdoc that can help as well.
Oh, okay. Great, great, great. So I'm going to bring Dr. Zenebe in here as well, and I'm going to have some questions that I'm kind of throw out to both of you all. I guess I'll start with Dr. Zenebe. I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you the question just for the audience. So where does data science and analytics sit in your institution? Dr. Zenebe first, and then I'll go to Winston Salem State.
There are a couple of questions specifically for me under chat. I'm going to answer them next, but I'm going to try to answer this now. At Bowie, again, we are the first to start at the College of Business, in the Department of Information System. We are the started this exploration, and we reach out to other colleges, College of Science, including computer science, and so on. So for the grant, so part of the grant, there are a few individuals from the computer science. Then later on they slip out. So we end up working alone. Still, they are not objecting, but they are not fully committed to the process. So the program I presented there under the College of Business, Department of Information System, and accounting, finance. It's a multi-program, a multi-departmental program within the College of Business. So it's involved IS as well as other domain areas. So that's the answer. Now, in terms of challenge, I like the way Salem University is addressing this. Multidisciplinary program requires organization, protocols, procedures, policies within an institution for them to grow and to achieve their potential. I can tell you we have similar experience with cybersecurity. Before data science, as everybody knows, cybersecurity was huge. Again, it's a multidisciplinary program, similar to data science and data analytics. Some institutions, they get it right. They establish a center, an institute, then that center, that institute lead the education, research, and outreach. Again, they coordinate. Still academic programs, elements, which are courses, right? Courses, faculty, they stay where they are, in their home department. But multidisciplinary program requires leadership, requires organization, requires resource. So some institutions, they didn't establish that. So I think our next step is to do that, to establish organization, protocols, and provide a resource to bring this together. We wish we had a data science and analytics program, a Bachelor of Science, okay? But we need a computer faculty to provide some of the courses or the knowledge, the skill required to create a complete data science and analytics graduate or professional. It's difficult because as you know, data science, it involves technology, dealing with data, then also a domain area. It could be business, healthcare, biology, chemistry. So is it possible even to create a graduate who knows everything? Usually it's a teamwork. So finding the balance is also another challenge.
Great, thank you so much. So I'm interested in hearing from Winston Salem State because I believe that you all have the center and you all started with just having all of those institutions work together. So for your minor program, does your minor where does your minor sit in the institution? Does it sit in the center or does it sit in departments and so forth? And how is that collaboration?
It sits in the departments, right? All courses have to sit in a department, right?
Yes, it is actually situated at the computer science department. So it is a joint, I wouldn't say it's totally computer science department, it's a joint venture between the Center for Applied Data Science and Computer Science department, just because the two courses that I mentioned, which are based on the data science, we do not have a data science program separately in our institution yet. So those two courses are actually developed and taught by computer science faculty. So that's how it is situated. But anybody from any department can take this, the interdisciplinary minor.
Great, great, great. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to some of the questions in the chat, and I'm going to try to sprinkle in some of my moderator questions as well. We have a question for Dr. Zenebe. The question is, are the students choosing the problems they explore, or are those predetermined? And how is the student designated data science proficient? So the first question, I believe, deals with the module infusion, about whether or not the students, are they choosing the problems they explore, and are they predetermined?
Yeah, let me try to answer the last part first.
Okay.
How a student become a data science, data analytics, one with that credential, right? That's the question. So far, without these two programs, we can't do. We can't give a certificate. We can't give degree, right? So what we did is in our module infusion, or students or faculty, when they infuse data science, data analytics concept in their course, usually they use the courses in cognitive class. I hope everybody's familiar with cognitive class.ai. Actually, it saved us. I remember in our conversation initially, Dr. Brown and I, she was not sure about that. Glad, I recommended that. The good side of that platform, it is sponsored by IBM. IBM is behind it. It's free. It's well developed, 24/7 available, and both our student and our faculty actually use that to complete different courses. There is a fundamental to data science and analytic course. There is a data science methodology course. There is data visualization with R, all the courses. So I strongly encourage you to check it out. So when student completes, they get digital credential from that site. Actually, it's digital certificates. They can download it. They can show it to employers. They can put it on their LinkedIn site and so on. The same for faculty. So actually, in courses, we ask the student to complete that independent online courses. Usually they take 5 to 10 hours, man hours, 5 to 10 man hours to complete those courses. So when they finish that, they get the certificate. So the same for faculty. When we pay them stipend, actually we paid them to pick relevant courses from their classes to what they are teaching, and we pay them when they present the certificate. Now, they get only certificate if they pass. They give test, midterm, there is a final exam, everything is automated. They provide a virtual lab environment with all necessary software and a data set for both faculty and students to do hands-on activities. So now we have the certificate, now we have the concentration. Also, we have the collab digital badge embedded in our programs. So when a student completes 3 courses, they get the data science, the generalist badge. Means the employers in our regions, they recognize that. That shows students have the basic knowledge, the skill, ability to work with data. So those are the mechanisms we have now. what was the second question? The second question.
Well, the first question was about choosing the problems, because with our modules, the students have problem bases.
So again, we provide a framework, faculty, whoever is teaching, let's say economics, microeconomics, they decide the problem. So they decide the problem based on the content of the course. So what we provide is a framework. Also, our modules are developed by this faculty. They participated in creating the problems, the examples. So in the course, it is decided by faculty based on the content of the course.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Dr. Deb, Michaela has a question. She said, I might have missed this, but how many FTEs are involved in the center? And do you feel you have the administrative support you need? You're on mute. You're on mute, Deb.
So I think it's a general question. We are a smaller institution. Again, just like we state, we are also research-3 and teaching-focused institution. So all of our faculty have heavy teaching load, right? So I, as a director, has some kind of like course release, but none of those, our fellows or the faculty adopters has any course release. We only support their summer salaries and some stipends. So we have separate modules, and we also support them with the research students, the travel, professional development, all those things. But there is actually not FTE associated with that. If we can allow that, we probably would need much bigger grant, which we are planning to go for in future, but right now that's the situation.
Great. I'm definitely going to be in contact with you, because we're about to set up a similar center. So I would like to learn, so we don't have to repeat, any type of mistakes, and can grow together and so forth. So it's another question in the chat. I think this is interesting. I'll read it. It says, given the interdisciplinary nature of data science, I'm thinking about whether a graduate of a data science program could land a job as a true data scientist without years of experience in the field. There just does not seem to be enough time for a degree to go into enough depth in the 3 areas that typically define data science, which is computer science, statistics, and domain. Would you share your thoughts on whether this is a motivation in labeling your respective programs data analytics and applied data science versus data science? So who would like to go first, Winston Salem or Bowie State University? I'll just throw it out there. You know what? I'll go with Winston Salem first, because I love all my HBCUs. So you want to answer that question?
Yeah.
Want me to repeat it? Okay.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
I think, for us, the question is that why we are labeling it as applied data science versus just data science.
Yeah.
So the reason is very clear to us, because we are, again, as I mentioned previously, we are a unique institution, right? We are serving a unique group of students. Our situation, or our, the physical location is also unique. It's very urban, but we are in a community which has a lot of economically challenged people. We are actually situated in Forsyth County, which is 3rd lowest from the economic mobility in the whole nation. So again, we cannot solve everybody's problem. We are focusing on our problem, right? So I know that it's very difficult to do the foundational data science research at our institution, because we do not have PhD program. We cannot keep our research students for more than 2 years, right? At most we can get the master students who are staying there for 2 years. Our faculty course load is huge, so we cannot cannot do the foundational data science research, or cannot shine very well. I would say that even if we do that, we may not be very good at it. But what we are going to be absolutely very good at it is that we have a very diverse perspective. We have a diverse body of students and faculty, and as I say, the community and the location also give us some privilege, which generates problem. So, all of our faculty students, whenever I speak with them, they have lots of problems which can really be using the data science and data analytics and can do some social good toward those problems. So that's why we are focusing more on creating the awareness, making sure that we are contributing to create a diverse group of people in the data science. We are also thinking that we should generate enough data science skilled people who can contribute to our local economy, which has a lot of business going on because, again, we are in an urban setting. So those are our goals. So we are not going into the very detailed data science, computer science, those kind of foundational research, but we are more sort of how to give them enough exposure to skill to apply the data science to solve some real life problems.
Right.
That's our motivation is.
Well, thank you. Dr. Zenebe, is there anything you want to add regarding the data analytics program?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be quick. Applied data science equals to data analytics. So, and then ours is it's by design. We have, as I said earlier, our wish was to have a bigger Bachelor of Science in data science and analytics, even data science, and it's not the name only, it's what's inside it, what's being taught, what's the program goals, the learning outcomes, and what type of graduates we are producing. So the reason we kept it data analytics is because the domain students do business as a domain. And as you know, all students cannot be data analysts, or data analytics specialists. It requires, some kind of analytical, technical data management skill. So for those who are interested with business background, this is a perfect program. Now for data scientists, yes, I agree. Data scientists, it is difficult to create a data scientist at a bachelor level. Masters, maybe, because whoever is coming with a master, with bachelor degree, there is some domain knowledge plus the technical, computer programming, or those things, plus the data management, data understanding piece can complete, and you can create a data scientist. So data scientist is usually a PhD, a person with PhD, or a person with Masters of Science with a lot of years of experience.
Great. Okay, so I have another question. What are the next steps for your program? So I'll let Winston Salem State answer that. Please tell us what are some of the next steps for your data science program? Like what other new programs you're trying to have, any type of research collaborations in the industries that you want to work with or that you're planning to work with. What are your next steps at Winston Salem State?
And there's a question in the chat as well for Dr.
Oh,
Deb.
it is? Let me see, I might have missed it.
Funding model.
Okay, so
that would add to.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So what funding
probably
model
answer
is
both
used?
questions.
Okay, great. So let me read that question as well. Thank you for letting me know that. What funding model is used to sustain the center, university, external, and some combination? So thank you. So that could tie into your next steps as well. So talk about your funding model and then your next steps.
Well, I will go first, and then Dr. Keith may add some things that I may miss or some additional insight as well. So right now, as you see that our current center is supported by a generous funding of UNC ROI. So the model is that all the fellows that are actually working on their individual research project, ultimately they are going to apply for a, NSF or NIH funding or something like that. So that's one of our strategies to sustain. And it's a pleasure to let you guys all know that we already received one of NSF funding. One of our fellow, Dr. Fuad, already received one of the NSF funding based on his idea that he proposed as part of this center. So all the other fellows are, pursuing the funding, and ultimately we are hoping that that will help us sustain the center. And we are also relying a lot, of course, as a center, we are also going to go for bigger grant, like the center grant, and then broadening participation grants and other grants. We have a list of things in our mind, of course, to go for, and then we'll go for them, eventually. But beside that, we also are relying on our industry partner as well. So we started to see that, during the last 1 year or so, the awareness or the talk about our center is well spread in our community, and a lot of the industries are actually coming to us, and they want to help us grow, and they also want to take the students from us like as their interns, and then also want to collaborate with us. So we received a small funding from Haynes Grant recently, but we are extremely thinking that this will continue to grow, so we'll be having more industry partner, and then we will also involve them in our curriculum, in our advisory board, and then they're going to help us shape our curriculum. Some of them are also, like Novant is actually interested to do their research problem solved by us. So there are various collaboration going on, and we are hoping to build those partnership and strengthen those partnership as well, beside from the external grant that we all are going for.
Yeah.
Great,
and
great,
also the
great.
foundation. So the foundation, they're interested in helping us to raise money, and some of the donors will give some money to the centers based upon what they read about what we're doing and if they want to support us. So our foundation is beefing up what they do so that we can get some donations.
Great. So Dr. Zenebe, I'm gonna let you go first to talk about the things that kind of grew out of our program, and then I can add a few things as well about certain things. So go ahead, Dr. Zenebe.
Yeah, I mean, what's next? Is that the question? What's next
Well,
for us?
what have we been doing since besides the programs and other grants and everything, what are the things that we're building up now?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I haven't covered everything because it's a lot happened with data science, and two things. One thing I noticed, when faculty collaborate, usually that won't happen, because once we get PhD, we like to be siloed, right? We are not willing to be vulnerable and show gap and learn new things. I think that's something I observed. So once start collaborating across, not within the same discipline, a lot of things happen. We got a lot of grant biologists. They got grant from NSF. They just add some data science analytics element to their work. Psychology. In our area, we got after that we have a grant from state of Maryland. We have a grant from HHS now. The university got $10 million for developing public health informatics programs, research, and so on, which data science, data analytics will be the core. We have a grant with NIH. So it's a lot. I can't handle it anymore now. And also our faculty. So I think when faculty collaborate across programs, great thing happens.
Yeah. So I just want to add, we're actually about to open up our data analytics, research, technology, and trading lab in the College of Business, which will be a physical as well as a virtual space to help out the community. And then I mentioned the Center for Data Science and Analytics, and we're doing that in collaboration with University of Maryland Eastern Shore. We're also looking at additional programs on the graduate as well as on the PhD level. So it is great, and as those opportunities come, like Dr. Zenebe said, it's more resources that need to come along with it, as well as faculty and researchers. So the sky's the limit. So now I'm going to go ahead and punt this back to Michaela. So thank you, Dr. Zenebe, Dr. Deb, and Dr. Keith. This has been a wonderful discussion about our HBCUs and all of the great things that we are doing and that we're continuing to do. And thank you. Michaela, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all of our speakers. And thank you to you, Dr. Brown-Robertson, for moderating this really great discussion. Thank you to the audience for staying over time and having such thoughtful questions. I thought this was a really productive and informative session. If there are any questions that didn't get answered, you're welcome to send them to us or directly to the speakers. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer them. And I hope that we'll see most of you at the March meeting where we can have longer discussions. So with that, I just want to remind our audience that next week at this same day and time on Wednesday, please join us for an amazing panel of speakers who will focus on community-centered benefit sharing and new data equities. We'll hear perspectives on data justice and learn how all areas of research and development can ethically promote data equity and empowerment. So with that, thank you again, all of you, for your thoughtful contributions to this session, and I hope everyone, you have a good rest of your day.